Good morning, and welcome to the Nosrocker Morning Review. I'm Nosrocker. It is the morning review time, right? I'm gonna be totally honest with you right now. I don't have a big plan for this one. Kind of totally just flying from the seat of our pants, as they say. But let's review real quickly here. The last 24 hours, Saturdays are usually a little bit fun. There was a shitload of ESL. And we watched a lot of that, and it was good. There was a lot of ZVT, which is turning into like the most fun to watch. Then there was some PvP, which was great to do something else during, because we don't like the Protoss. Coming off of the last week, doing a whole lot of training, I dove deeply back into the ladder after Abathur's fine suggestions, which has been pretty good. We climbed up quite a bit. We're over 3K, maybe a little bit less right now because I lost a lot of games this morning, but things have been going pretty well. The biggest development, though, is that I've started to do some fuckery. Started to be a little bit more mean to people, and it's been kind of fun. Specifically, the hatch and the natch. The hatchery and the natural of the Protoss players. It's pretty effective. It hasn't won a 100% win rate, but it definitely makes things interesting. It's kind of fun. Today, actually, it became very unsuccessful, but I kind of kept doing it because it's kind of a fun little gimmick to try and like figure out the nuances of like how people can respond when they end up beating me, when they end up not beating me, and how to really push whatever advantage that we get out of it, which is usually a decent advantage, but it doesn't stick around. That's the big thing I think that that I wasn't ready for, is that advantage, it kind of has a weird graph to it. It gives you an economic advantage kind of early, but then it can get washed out relatively quickly. So you gotta still play a decent game. I've lost with it for sure, but I feel I definitely won more than I've lost. But it's been fucking great. It's been fucking great. And so now we go on to our special Sunday part where I rant about stuff. It was originally called Sunday School, but we're changing the name of it now because Sunday School was like kind of weird. Yeah. So now it's Soapbox Sunday because I think I have more in common with a guy on a box at the park than preacher. This one is going to be even more freestyle than the last little bit because I don't really know. This is it's kind of a murky area. This idea. It's a difficult subject to really get a grasp of. But basically, the idea is focus, and focusing on enjoyable and controllable things, as opposed to these external markers. This came out to me in the game because I was really focused on like trying to get my rank up. So like rank was getting up there. It was doing pretty good. And then I didn't want to lose it. So then I started like training and doing all these like practice games and not actually playing the game, which I think actually set me back a little bit. And it was just because of this fear of like losing MMR. But the MMR thing is just it's kind of just an external, almost unrelated marker to your progress. Like if you are progressing, your MMR is still going to go up and down, right? It's not going to make a difference. And in life, this is a bit of a struggle for me as well because like I have a really awesome job. I make cartoons. It's pretty goddamn cool. And then I start to like not enjoy it and stress out about it very regularly. And I think a lot of that is that you take something, it's enjoyable, and then you put all of these things on it, especially in the professional environment. Like, okay, you've got a deadline and you've got to impress all of these people and it's got to be good. And then you have like coworkers and it's all competitive. And you start thinking like, oh, are they going to like it? Am I going to get it done on time? And then when you were doing it, you're all of a sudden burdened by all of these thoughts of like, what if this? And it's like trying to play a ranked game where you're just like, oh, I've got to win. I got to, like yes, last week we talked about how you got to stick to these plans and you got to have an idea and you got to follow it through even when things start to kind of get out there to mess with your head. And in a way, this is another way of looking at that sort of problem, right? Which is all of that stuff messes with your head. These external markers, like you got to look at what you can control, which is you doing this thing right now. And you got to just enjoy that, right? Like, okay, I'm just going to play this game. I'm going to put the hatchery in the natural. I'm going to see what happens. Sure, that's good. That's just your win, right? That's good. You did it. If you start worrying about winning, fucks it up. In life, start worrying about your like deadline. Sure, you got to get your deadline, but like, are you going to do it better by freaking out about it? I don't think so. So there you go. Focusing on the controllable things and ignoring these other details, because you're gonna forget about that. You're gonna remember how you did the thing. You're gonna remember how well that went. You're not gonna remember like, oh, I won that game, I lost that game. Oh, I was late on that shot. I was, my boss didn't like this thing. That's all gonna fall out, right? What's gonna matter is that you did a cool thing, and you focused on what you could control. So there you go. That's the Soapbox Sunday rant. I should probably start writing these things down because I think it could be tighter. I need a build order. Build order is such a good analogy for so many things in life. All right, that's it. Thanks very much for stopping by. I'm gonna go back and play some more ladder in just a few minutes, so stick around. See you later.